Malware is a well-known hackers tool that allows to receive access to the network and steal individuals and company data. Each year, quantity of malware increases as well as number of cyber attacks that use malware as a main tool. In 2020, 20% of all cyber attacks in the world use malware as one of powerful instruments. And if we speak about Japan, the rate of malware attacks compared to 2019 is also around 20%. There are a lot of ways how your computer can be infected by malware, from remote injection to link in the email. However, in 2019 and 2020, we can see the rise of fileless malware that is more difficult to identify compared to others. What's the difference between fileless malware and file-based one? The main difference is in ways how endpoint is infected. File-based malware require actions from users, clicking link in the email or file download. Fileless malware usually installed in background mode and can act as a legal system process. After malware deployed into system's memory, it is executed and starts communication with command server and allow hackers to analyze your network and steal data. It is obvious, but sooner you can detect malware in your network, less negative effect you receive. An early stage, only file-based malware can be identified with signature-based methods. After memory deployment, only log and behavior analysis may help to find any proofs of cyber attack. When malware is deployed into victim's memory, only deep analysis and memory forensics may help to identify it. Let's look at example of Emotet. Emotet is a fileless malware that usually distributed with emails and office documents. Everything inside file or email may look legal, but usually require to enable macros. After macros enabled by user, malware starts acting in background to deploy into system. When deployment is successfully finished, Emotet deletes all possible identifiers and starts communication with command and control server. Other types of malware may also delete binaries or not. From the memory point, Emotet reserves memory in background mode, load and execute DLL file that is, in most cases, looks like normal file for scanning tools. After Emotet installed inside memory, it becomes very difficult to identify it with standard tools and techniques. Various tools can identify malware on different stages. Antivirus and firewall tools may help on stage of malware installation. Log and behavior analysis performed with antivirus or EDR, endpoint detection and response, can help to identify malware when it is executed. It is more difficult to find appropriate tool to identify malware that is stored inside system but haven't been executed yet. Memory forensic require advanced analytics and multiple tools. When malware doesn't active in the system, its identification requires complex approach. Malware can create new processes, read or write into some standard files. Also, malware from time to time communicate to C2 server and also try to scan the network to find most valuable information for hackers. In theory, it may not sound very difficult, but in reality you need big amount of resources to do such analysis with various tools. You can use even built-in tools or additional ones to monitor your network, traffic, events, and even check register if some blocks were modified or not. We can use EDR solutions to try to identify malware. However, even one device generates big amount of alerts for you with the confused alert names that make analysis more challenging task than expected. Whether they are high level or not, in most cases you need to check alerts manually to understand if they are important or not. Moreover, EDR solutions do not show you if any changes in system memory occurred. EDR shows various alerts but doesn't provide any details because the malicious content is in memory, not in files or processes. As a result, you need to use another specialist and tools to check this. In corporate networks, you may spend days and even months to identify which activity is suspicious and which is normal. It is possible to make process of malware identification with memory forensic less complex and more effective than use of multiple tools. To do so, you can use ThreatSonar, Team T5's advanced threat analytics platform. ThreatSonar works with different types of malware, but mostly focused on APT malware and cyber espionage tools that helps you to protect your company not only from reputational risks, but also from commercial ones. To detect malware, ThreatSonar uses memory forensics and can scan files and systems regularly. In addition, sets of different behavior patterns allow to detect even unknown threats and notify users about suspicious activity. Full scan of the system usually takes around 30 to 60 minutes, and also scan can be done only in suspicious file locations. When malware is identified, ThreatSonar reports infected endpoints, may isolate and remove some of them. APT malware, however, may require expert cleanup. ThreatSonar supports multi-level complex classification of events that may occur inside your network or system. Compared to previous case with EDR solution, we can see that ThreatSonar classify events with different level of threats. It means that we can concentrate on the really important alerts. We can deep dive into ThreatSonar information to check the reason of the alert. ThreatSonar analyzes identified suspicious files through internal database. That's why in attributes you can see that ThreatSonar identified an APT-related malware with backdoor functionality. Also, we can check what processes malware executed that help us to understand malware behavior. With ThreatSonar, we can do memory analysis without advanced knowledge in memory forensic. In a few clicks, we can continue analysis of alert and see how malware tried to modify its system's memory and which code is tried to deploy. To sum up, multiple tools are needed to protect systems from data breach and malware cyber attacks. However, antivirus and EDR solutions can help to identify malware when it is either tried to be downloaded into the system or starts actively communicate with attacker's server. On the other hand, ThreatSonar helps to identify malware that is saved into the system until the start of the attack. Combination of ThreatSonar, antivirus, and EDR solutions allow you to increase the effectiveness of countermeasures against various types of malware.